All right, I'm just going to give you a very quick rundown on how we are describing the current cryptocurrency climate and what's going on right now, particularly in relation to the Dacxi opportunity. So it's very quick and simple. It's meant to be a coffee table or a coffee presentation, and it's just as simple as this. Straight across the board. In the first square here we have the current situation. Traditional income is usually based around the way we've worked it, the way we've seen it over the last 20 years. Wealth creation is around one, real estate. Buying real estate, watching it go up as we have here in Australia for such a long, long time. That's the main thing. And the second thing, of course, is stock. Certainly not much happening in the banking arena, interest and so forth. These things are pretty well, as we know ourselves right now, we've certainly got an issue after a long run-up. We've got an issue at the moment with real estate. See the way things are going. Stocks, of course, are going okay right now, but there's a lot of trepidation about them peaking and the possibility of drop-downs. You need to be a relatively sophisticated investor as well to make money in the stock market. You can do it, but it's obviously not paying anywhere near as well as what it could. The dividends are not what they have been, and so on. So the bank, Royal Commission, banksters, the whole thing. There's a lot of. I liken what's happened to the banks as what's happened to the Christian church in the last 10 years with the pedophilia and whatever. These guys are now absolutely discredited. So the fourth issue, or the fourth area now that's come alive and is seriously coming alive with the recognition of cryptocurrency, with Westpac Bank now owns 45% of the largest Bitcoin exchange in the world, and they're very much on board with what's going on. You had the 17 crash, which we'll go and talk about next, but there is a big buy-in financially in this area in cryptocurrency. So this is what's happening at the moment. You've got the the stock exchange is beginning to run with cryptocurrency and whatever, and of course it's very much on the rise. The Bitcoin has risen by 300%. Yeah, 300% in the last 5 or 6 months. So that's really where we're at. What is currently a traditional wealth building in Australia around the place is really in trouble at the moment. We know and we see that. Now, just when we talk about crypto being the way that things are going now, we talk about history, what happened in the 17. Bitcoin went to 29,000 Australian dollars. It was very unregulated. It was very much a show revolving around a whole bunch of let's bring down the system kind of hippie, almost a hippie kind of situation, not backed and whatever. But it was spectacular with coming along and crypto's been around for 10 years and finally hit a recognition stage and boomed. Right, so the issue with that, and it came along, blockchain came along. I mean, as the blockchain technology that came along with this is still being recognised as something that will have more social impact than the internet as things roll through and change everything in business and change everything the way we do things. So, of course, there was a crash. There were only there were a bunch of traders involved here and a few cowboys and whatever. And, of course, the inevitable situation that went up and then it crashed down. Now, in the crashing down, it really was a chance to correct. What's happened is the banks and the institutions and finance departments around the world have leveled this out now, and we're on our way back up. In other words, you've now got legislation, you've got regulation going on, you've got big players involved in blockchain technology and in Ethereum and all of those things that have come along. And you've now got big business running on blockchain technology, and still this problem out here of developing of wealth and obviously a big problem with money in general. In what I've just sent you, there's murmurs all over the place about this. How people are going to pay how the country's going to pay their debts off and so forth. And what you've got is you've got a full buy-in now. Every country is recognising cryptocurrency. You've got the biggest corporations in the world creating their own crypto companies, the biggest banks in the world, the Deutsche Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, the whole lot of them are recognising the crypto, an alternative currency is here, right? So being crypto. So what you've got is you've now got this thing back on the rise again. So we're about here right now, probably about here. The main issue is that the main thing you've got happening here is, of course, some of these big recognition for sure and buy-in, but you've also got those companies like everyone, the super companies are looking for ways to actually invest in something that's going to help them get back on the trail of making money again. So we've got ourselves a rise here. And, I think, the way we're looking at it, it's not going away. So there's a couple of years at least here of very sharp rises before it sort of levels out and then creeps up like that. And we've seen massive rises here in the first part already. I think I bought in initially at about 5,000 Australian dollars in April, and we're at 17,000 now in Australian dollars. So a little bit of super in there has gone a bit of a way, and we're looking at something very similar to what's happened here, driven by different reasons. When we had the situation happening here, there was a few 100,000 Chinese people mainly controlled, and Asian markets controlled the main ownership of Bitcoin. So what happened is in the break that we had from 17 through to 19. Governments, world finance situations and world bodies have recognised and are running with three main forms of cryptocurrency and creating ones themselves as well to get on the back of it. So we see this as being a big run-up, a pretty good run-up. How you do this is you've got a couple of situations. You've got here with the Dacxi. You've got they're running two bundles. There's one which is the DAC coin. Now the DAC coin itself is a coin that is going to be part of a finance platform here in Australia, and then something that they're going to run around the world with. But this is a crowdfunding situation. So the DAC itself will become the coin that'll be an Australian coin that'll do that. And over here you have the opportunity to buy what we call a bundle. And this is the pretty safe way of getting it as well. This coin here will rise, and it's already risen. By the end of this month, it'll have risen 70%. It's at the moment we got 0.008, and it'll go up another 50% on the 22nd of July this month. This is a great idea in terms of the way that the platform works. You'll see Ed talk about this on his video. Here you've got Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum available to be bought in what is known as a Dacxi bundle. And these are all the what we call blue chips. These are blue chip cryptos. Never mind all the other 2,000. These are the ones that are going to be running through in the big finance, in the stock exchanges, and in the big companies around the world. These are the ones that have got, they're calling Bitcoin digital gold at the moment. This coin here, Litecoin, is going to be the transaction coin. Ethereum, of course, is the coin that works in and around the blockchain, almost 90% of blockchain technology. So this for $100. What you do here, you can buy a $100 DAC pack and you get 50% Bitcoin, 20% Litecoin, 10% Ethereum, and 20% DAC coin. So you've got the four. You've got Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and DAC coin there. So you buy them in a bundle. You can buy them at $100 at a time, and away you go. When you buy them $100 at a time, you'll get something like 11,700 of them, 11,700, something like that. And 6 months later, if you don't touch the DAC, oh, sorry, no, this is not right. This is actually not right. That's the way that works. If you buy DAC here straight up, there's a thing called a DAC pack. And the DAC pack, you can buy it for $100. You know, the current, right now, the average is being put in as a couple of grand. That's your average, but you can buy them as little as that, and there's a lot of people that put a lot more in that, on that. But the more you buy of these things, if you buy $100 worth, what happens is 6 months later, they give you another $50 worth for free. If you buy $2,000 worth, they'll give you more than that. There's a whole bunch of bonuses wrapped around this as the coin. This is the coin that's going to make our Australian bank, crypto bank. But you can do either way. This is a longer term grow. You can't spend DAC at the moment. You can't take it out and spend it on anything at the moment. We're growing a bank with it. It'll rise much faster as it goes by. It's currently 0.8%. Within 2 years, it'll be $1. So you've got some long-term speculation here. It won't go to any more than $1, but you've got, you know, it's 1,000 times up there. Here, you just jump on the bandwagon of this rise here. You buy $100 worth, you buy $1,000 worth, whatever. It's already gone up. You know, this is across the board here has gone up more than 100% in the last 5 months, 150% probably. So there's a lot of money coming into both these things. But here, this is your safe bet. You can't go wrong with that. And this is liquid, completely liquid. You can obviously trade. You can go to the exchange and draw down $100 anytime you want, or $200 off the profits if you want to, or just go and spend it at a coffee shop. Get them to transfer the money straight out of this and put it in the bank as it rises. So generally, that's it. The discussion is what we've seen working in Australia, and generally, as far as the public's concerned, is in trouble at the moment. Particularly people living off their super. You know, the interest rate's not there, it's not performing, or whatever. You've got a lot of it tied up in stocks. It's iffy. I mean, our super is tied up a fair bit in stocks. And, you know, we've already said it plenty of times in our life here. So one day we're going to wake up and it's all gone down 50%. And that'll include the dividends. And there's issues here. So everybody, including corporations and whatever, are looking for a way to make money. People like us, plus you know, businesses and whatever. What are they doing? How are they paying things off? So this is where the crypto right now is coming in really strong. The strong identification, the strong move internationally to move into the cryptocurrency area is fueled, and it's fire, and the graphs are showing it all over the place in the last 5 months. I've included that in the email. So it's traditional wealth issue is the issue here. So you move here, you take on board the fourth dimension that's come in, you get in on this, you know, with 1 to 3% of the cash that you've got, be conservative and get in and buy one of these bundles. This one's liquid, so you can be moving around with it and taking a bit out if you want to. This one's a bit of a longer term thing. It's all licensed, Australian government licensed, government's behind it. It's a stimulus situation, you know. So I'll leave it at that. That should be a reasonable size video, but that's the general ethic behind it, the general idea of what happens. We do these on coffee tables on a piece of A4 paper. Okay?